Dear student, in the last lecture, of molecular spectroscopy, we have considered molecule as a rigid rotator, in which two atoms of the molecule are rigidly held together with a constant internuclear separation R and capable of rotating about an axis passing through center of mass. This axis is known as axis of rotation, about which the molecule is rotating, and due to the rotation of the molecule has rotational energy. In order to calculate the rotational energy of the molecule, we have considered this molecule as a rigid rotator, applied rigid rotator model, and as you know that in the last lecture we have started with the Schrodinger equation of a rigid rotator, that was del square psi plus 8 pi square mu upon s square E minus b psi is equal to 0. As I told you that here psi is the eigenfunction of the molecule, mu is the reduced mass of the molecule, h is the Planck constant, is the total energy of the molecule, v is the potential energy of the molecule. As R is fixed here, R is fixed, the potential energy of the molecule will be 0. Then we have substituted the value of Laplacian operator del square in spherical polar coordinate. So in spherical polar coordinate, we have substituted the value of del square, and we have separated Schrodinger equation into two parts. As you know that one part is phi part, which we have already solved. The solution of phi part of the equation is Schrodinger equation. We have separated into two parts. One part of the solution is called phi part of the Schrodinger equation, that is called phi equation. That was like this: d square phi upon d phi square is equal to minus n square phi. This is the phi part of the Schrodinger equation. This is called phi equation. In the last lecture, we have solved this equation and got the normalized solution of this phi equation, that was 1 upon under root 2 pi e raised to I and phi. As the solution depends on n, we put subscript as phi n phi, because it depends on the n. Okay, next. Today we are going to solve theta part of the Schrodinger equation. We already solved phi part of the equation, so today we will solve theta equation. You know very well, last lecture we have written the theta part of the equation. It was like this: theta part of the Schrodinger equation is 1 upon sin theta d by d theta sin theta d capital theta by d theta plus 8 pi square I upon s square minus n square upon sin square theta is equal to 0. This is the theta part of the Schrodinger equation of a rigid rotator. 1 upon sin theta d by d theta sin theta d theta by d theta plus 8 pi square I upon s square minus n square upon sin square theta is equal to 0. So today we are going to solve this theta part of the Schrodinger equation. In order to solve theta part of the Schrodinger equation, we make substitution. X is equal to cos theta. In order to solve theta equation, let us make the substitution. X is equal to cos theta. Okay. This is not an easy equation. This equation can be solved by series solution method. Means its solution is having a number of terms. Okay. And a series having a finite number of terms is called polynomial. So let us make the substitution. X is equal to cos theta to solve the Schrodinger equation. We calculate some values and then substitute in the equation. First of all, we will find the value of d by d theta. Then we will find the value of d capital theta by d theta. So I make some small calculations. Sin square theta, you know very well, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So sin square theta can be written as 1 minus cos square theta. So sin theta is equal to 1 minus. Now we have made the substitution. X is equal to cos theta. So cos square theta will be nothing but x square. So sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta, but cos theta is equal to x. So sin square theta is equal to 1 minus x square. Second one is we find the value of d by d theta. D by d theta. So d by d theta can be written as dx by d theta into d by dx. So d by d theta is equal to, as you know that x is equal to cos theta. So what is the value of dx by d theta? So x is equal to cos theta. What is the derivative of cos theta? Derivative of cos theta is minus sin theta. So dx by d theta will be minus sin theta d by dx. And third, that is, let us find the value of d capital theta by d theta. D capital theta by d theta. Now, in that theta equation, if you solve theta part of the Schrodinger equation, you will get the solution theta. But this solution theta, we will get in the form of series having a finite number of terms. And you know very well that series having a finite number of terms is called a polynomial. So I assume that the solution theta of the theta equation will be in the form of polynomial px. This px is a non-polynomial. What is a polynomial? Polynomial is a series having finite number of terms, and solution of theta equation you will get in the form of polynomial px. So px, presently we do not know the solution of theta equation. We only know that solution of theta equation is in the form of polynomial px. Px is a non-polynomial. You will study in mathematical physics that there are 4 important polynomials: Legendre polynomial, Bessel polynomial, Lagrange polynomial, Hermite polynomial. We will find out that our solution of theta equation is a Legendre polynomial or Bessel polynomial or Hermite polynomial. Let us check. Okay, now here I put theta is equal to polynomial px. So this can be written as dp by dx, where I put theta is equal to polynomial px, because solution of theta equation we will get in the form of polynomial px. Okay. Now this dp by dx can be written as dp by d theta. Sorry, dp by dx. Sorry, this is. I'm sorry. This is dp by d theta. Now this dp by d theta can be written as dp by dx into dx by d theta. dp by d theta can be written as dp by dx into dx by d theta. Here. Okay, now again we have made the substitution x is equal to cos theta. So what is dx by d theta? Derivative of x with respect to theta will be derivative of cos theta will be minus sin theta. So value of d theta by d theta we will get minus sin theta dp by dx. Now we will substitute these values into the theta equation. Please remember here, what is this P? P is the unknown polynomial which is the solution of theta part of the Schrodinger equation. Okay. Now let us substitute these values. Okay. So I rewrite the theta equation of rigid rotator again. It is first 1 upon sin theta, 1 upon sin theta. Hello? Sorry for interfering. Yes. Now we substitute these values into the theta equation of rigid rotator. That is 1 upon sin theta, 1 upon sin theta, d by d theta into bracket sin theta. Now we substitute the value of d capital theta by d theta. What is the value of d capital theta by d theta? Is minus sin theta dp by dx. So value of d capital theta upon d theta is minus sin theta dp by dx. Minus sin theta dp by dx. Okay, plus the second term is 8 pi square IE, that I write as it is 8 pi square I upon s square minus n square upon sin square theta capital theta is equal to 0. Now in this step you have forgotten to put the value of d by d theta. So I substitute the value of d by d theta in this equation. So the equation becomes 1 upon sin theta. Okay. I put the value of d by d theta in this equation. What is the value of d by d theta? That we have already obtained. It is minus sin theta d by dx. d by dx into bracket sin theta minus sin theta dp by dx plus 8 pi square IE upon s square minus n square upon sin square theta capital theta is equal to 0. This sin theta is going to be cancelled. So we have d by dx, this minus is going to be plus, the sin theta into sin theta will be sin square theta dp by dx plus 8 pi square IE, second term as it is, now we have made the substitution x is equal to cos theta. So sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos square theta, that is 1 minus x square. So let us put the value of sin square theta here. The value of sin square theta, is 1 minus x square. So this is our simplified version of theta equation of Schrodinger equation. Now you know that when you take the derivative of the product of two terms, 1 minus x square is the first term, dp by dx is the second term. Then you take the derivative of the product of two terms. We are keeping one term constant and take the derivative of the other term. Okay. So first we keep first term constant, take the derivative of the second term. Then we keep the second term constant and take the derivative of the first term. Okay. So let us keep the first term 1 minus x square constant. 1 minus x square is first term. And derivative of dp by dx with respect to x will be d square p upon dx square. So when you keep 1 minus x square constant, the first term 1 minus x square constant, derivative of dp by dx will be with respect to x is d square p upon dx square. Plus, now I keep second term dp by dx constant and take the derivative of 1 minus x square with respect to derivative of 1 will be 0 and derivative of minus x square will be minus 2x. So keeping dp by dx constant, derivative of 1 minus x square will be minus 2x. So instead of plus, I have to write minus 2x. The last term goes as it is 8 pi square ie upon s square minus m square upon sin square theta, capital theta is equal to 0. Remember, this p is nothing but it is the solution of theta equation in the form of polynomial. Okay, so this is our simplified version of theta equation of rigid rotator. Now see here, we are not going to solve this equation. We are going to compare our equation with a standard mathematical equation. There are Legendre equation, Bessel's equation, Hermite equation and Lagrave equation. So out of that four equation, our equation is similar to which equation that we have to find out. It is observed that in appendix of quantum mechanics textbook, these standard equations are given: Legendre equation, Bessel's equation, Hermite equation, and so on. So this our equation is identical to theta equation is identical to associated Legendre equation, Legendre differential equation. This Legendre differential equation you will study in the mathematical physics. Okay, its properties, its solution. So you will study in mathematical physics. So I just give you the standard form of Legendre differential equation. The standard form of Legendre differential equation is one minus x square dp by d square p by dx square. Actually it is like this, minus 2x dp by dx plus j plus 1 minus m square upon 1 minus x square So at the top I have written theta equation of the rigid rotator, theta equation of the rigid rotator. And here I have written the standard form of Legendre differential equation. The standard form of Legendre differential equation is 1 minus x square d square p upon dx square minus 2jx dp by dx plus jj plus 1 minus x square upon 1 minus x square pjmx is equal to 0. Okay, the solution, yes. What is J and J is called, in this equation, J is called degree. J is degree. And N is called order. So this is a polynomial of jth degree and nth order. You can say that PJM is a polynomial of jth degree and nth order. The solution of this, so J is called degree, M is called order. The solution of this Legendre differential equation, is given by associated Legendre polynomial. And it is denoted by, as I told you, it is denoted by Pjmx. So this thing you have to remember, you will study in mathematical physics, that Legendre differential equation is 1 minus x square d square p upon dx square minus 2x dp by dx plus jj plus 1 minus n square upon 1 minus x square pjmx is equal to 0. And the solution of this Legendre differential equation is given by associated Legendre polynomial denoted by Pjmx. As I told you, J is the degree of polynomial, N is the order of the polynomial, and polynomial is a series having finite number of terms. Okay. Now, if you compare our theta equation with Legendre equation, both are looking same, but they are not exactly same. Both are looking identical, but they are not exactly same. Let us compare each term. Say the first term 1 minus x square d square p upon dx square is exactly same. Second term is also same, 2x dp by dx, minus 2x dp by dx. But in the last term, you can see that in our equation we have 8 pi square I upon s square. In our equation we have 8 pi I upon s square. And in Legendre equation, instead of 8 pi square I upon s square, we have j plus 1. So both the equations are exactly identical, provided we put 8 pi square I upon s square is equal to j plus 1. Both the equations are exactly similar, exactly identical. If we put 8 pi square I upon s square is equal to j plus 1. Okay. So 8 pi square I upon s square is equal to j plus 1. So our theta equation is exactly identical to Legendre differential equation, provided we put 8 pi square I upon s square is equal to j plus 1. From this comparison, you can say that E is equal to s square upon 8 pi square I j plus 1. So this equation gives the rotational energy of a molecule. This equation gives the rotational energy of molecule. So we obtain the rotational energy of molecule due to the rotation of the molecule possesses rotational energy, and from the Schrodinger equation of rigid rotator we came to know that the rotational energy of the molecule is s square upon 8 pi square I j plus 1, where I is the moment of inertia of the molecule, j is called the rotational quantum number. So j is called rotational quantum number. So rotational energy of the molecule is s square upon 8 pi square I j plus 1, where j is called the rotational quantum number. It has values 0, 1, 2 and so on. Now if I draw the different rotational levels of the molecule, if I show the different rotational levels of the molecule, suppose this is the lowest rotational energy level in which value of rotational quantum number J is 0. This is upper level, J is equal to 1, J is equal to 2. So from this equation, you will be able to write down the energy of the molecule in different rotational energy levels. In the lowest rotational level, J is equal to 0. If you put J is equal to 0 here, the rotational energy of the molecule will be 0. In the upper level, J is equal to 1. If you put J is equal to 1, the rotational energy of the molecule will be S square upon 8 pi square I. J is 1. So 1 into 1 plus 1, that is 2 into 2. So in the ground rotational level J is equal to 0, the rotational energy of the molecule is 0. In the level J is equal to 1, the rotational energy of the molecule is S square upon 8 pi square I into 2. And in the level J is equal to 2, the rotational energy will be S square upon 8 pi square I. 2 into 2 plus 1, 3 into 2, that will be 6. J is 2, so 2 into 2 plus 1, 3 into 2 will be 6. So in this way, you can calculate the rotational energy of the molecule in different rotational levels using the formula of rotational energy. So in the lowest rotational level, rotational energy is 0. Level 1, it is S square upon 8 pi square I into 2. Level 2, it is S square upon 8 pi square I into 6. You can calculate the energy difference between consecutive rotational levels of the molecule also. Okay, now if you compare our theta equation with the Legendre equation, you will come to know that solution of first term is exactly same, middle term is exactly same, and last term will be same because sin square theta is nothing but 1 minus cos square theta, that is 1 minus x square. So for first term is same, second term is exactly same, the last term we have taken 8 pi square I upon s square is equal to jj plus 1. Now if you compare theta equation of rigid rotated with the standard Legendre differential equation, you will come to know that solution of theta equation is nothing but it is associated Legendre polynomial. Solution of theta equation, just you have to compare both the equation. That solution of theta equation is nothing but it is the associated Legendre polynomial, which is denoted by Pj and x. So I write the solution of theta equation now. Is equal to solution of theta equation is nothing but it is the associated Legendre polynomial Pj and x. As I told you that Pj and x is you can speak like this, that it is a polynomial in x having jth degree and order. But when you write the solution, you have to put a normalization constant n here. N is a normalization constant for theta equation. See, you know very well that in case of phi equation, we obtained the normalization constant for phi equation, that was 1 upon root 2 pi. In theta equation, we put the normalization constant n and the value of normalization constant n we have to find out. For that, we will use the properties of Legendre polynomial. Okay. So finally, we have identified our unknown polynomial. As I told you, that theta was our unknown function, unknown polynomial, and that unknown polynomial is nothing but it is the associated Legendre polynomial Pj and x. Okay. Now, in order to find the normalization constant n for theta function, we will apply the orthogonality property of associated Legendre polynomial. So using orthogonality property of associated Legendre function. Okay, I think you must be knowing about the orthogonality property of the Legendre polynomial. Okay. So using the orthogonality property of the Legendre polynomial, we can calculate the normalization constant for theta function. Okay. So in the last step, we will obtain the value of normalization constant and for theta function. We use the normalization condition. Normalization condition for theta function. The normalization condition of phi function we have written in the previous lecture. Similarly, you can write the normalization condition of theta function as capital theta star, which is the complex conjugate of theta function, into theta. For theta function, actually the total volume element in spherical polar coordinate can be written as r square dr sin theta d theta d phi. But we are considering only theta part, so we will not consider r square dr and d phi. We consider only sin theta d theta, and this must be equal to 1 according to the normalization condition. Okay, you know the limit of theta in spherical polar coordinate is from 0 to pi. It is from 0 to pi. Okay, now this solution theta is depending on two constants, two values, j and n. So we can put the subscript as j and n. Okay. Here I am not putting. You just understand that the solution theta depends on j and n. Therefore, I have written subscript j and n because solution theta depends on j and n. Okay. Now we substitute solution into this normalization condition. Okay. This normalization condition. This is our theta function. So let us put the value of theta function into this normalization condition. So you can write it as theta is equal to 0 to pi. Okay. Now theta star is the complex conjugate of theta function. What is the complex conjugate of theta function? You know, when we take the complex conjugate, plus I is replaced by minus I. But this is a real function. There is no imaginary number. So complex conjugate will remain same. So I write the complex conjugate as n star Pjn x, because this theta equation does not contain any complex number, so complex conjugate will remain same. Okay. Into theta equation is this n into Pjn x. Now sin theta d theta. Sin theta d theta. As you remember that we have made the substitution. Cos theta is equal to x is equal to cos theta. If you take the derivative on both the sides, then minus derivative of cos theta will be minus sin theta d theta is equal to dx. So I can put sin theta d theta is equal to minus dx. Minus dx is equal to, because x is equal to cos theta, so minus sin theta d theta is equal to dx. Taking the differentiation of both the sides, we get, yes, minus sin theta d theta dx. So sin theta d theta is equal to minus, yes, okay. So now
चौकड़ी है क्या? ये कॉपी फेक है. बस थैंक यू. नीचे करके जाना था.
Okay, now we have converted integration with respect to theta to the integration with respect to x. So we have to also change the limit because we have converted theta integral into x integral. So we have to convert the limit also. Now theta is equal to 0, then the limit of x will be cos 0 and cos 0 will be plus 1. The upper limit is theta is equal to pi. So x is equal to cos pi and cos pi will be minus. So lower limit of theta was 0. So if you convert theta into x, then x is equal to cos 0 will be plus 1. Upper limit was theta is equal to pi. So x is equal to cos pi and cos pi is equal to minus 1. Okay, now this n into n star will be n square. This Legendre polynomial is a real function, so it does not have a complex conjugate. Okay, the function and its complex conjugate will remain same. So you can write this as pjmx whole square dx. Now if instead of minus, if you take plus, then you have to change the limit. Our limit, lower limit is plus 1, lower limit is plus 1, upper limit is minus 1. But instead of minus dx, if you write plus dx, limit will be inverted. So this will become minus 1 to plus 1. Minus 1 to plus 1. Okay, now if you calculate the value of this integration, then you will get the normalization constant n for theta function. But we are not going to solve this integration. Okay, we directly write the value of this integration from the orthogonality property of Legendre polynomial. From the orthogonality property of Legendre polynomial, the value of this integral comes out to be n square. Please remember, I am writing the value of this integral directly from the orthogonality property of Legendre polynomial. The value of this integral pjmx square dx comes out to be, the value of this integral comes out to be 2 upon 2j plus 1, 2 upon 2j plus 1, j plus n factorial upon j minus n factorial and that is equal to 1. Please remember, here I have directly written the value of this integral from the orthogonality property of Legendre polynomial. The value of this integral comes out to be 2 upon 2j plus 1, j plus n factorial upon j minus n factorial is equal to 1. Okay. Please remember, here the value of j is taken as 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, and n is a positive integer. So value of this integral from the orthogonality property of Legendre polynomial, the value of this integral is, I have written here 2 upon 2j plus 1, j plus n factorial upon j minus n factorial is 1. Therefore, the normalization constant n square comes out to be, I take this term on right side, so it is 2j plus 1 upon 2 j minus n factorial upon j plus n factorial. This is the value of n square for theta function. Okay. Now, if you, so n is equal to, you take the under root on both the sides, so n is equal to 2j plus 1 upon 2 j minus n factorial j plus n factorial raised to 1 by 2, raised to 1 by 2. Okay. So this is the value of normalization constant n for theta function. I put this value of n into the solution of theta equation. Okay. So normalized solution of theta equation, you know very well that normalized solution of theta equation is nothing but it is the associated Legendre polynomial Pj nx, because our theta equation is identical to associated Legendre equation, and therefore the solution of theta equation is nothing but it is the associated Legendre polynomial Pj nx. Now we have calculated the value of n from the orthogonality property of Legendre polynomial, that we substitute in this equation. So theta, which depends on two quantum number j and m. Okay. Now the value of n is this 2j plus 1 upon 2. I substitute here 2j plus 1 upon 2 j minus n factorial upon j plus n factorial raised to 1 by 2 into pjmx. Pjm. Okay. Now what is this x? This x is nothing but cos theta. So I write cos theta. X is equal to cos theta. Okay. So this equation gives the normalized solution of theta part of the Schrodinger equation. And finally I write the total eigenfunction of the rigid rotator. In case of phi equation, the normalization constant was 1 upon root 2 pi. In case of theta equation, the normalization constant is 2j plus 1 upon 2, j minus m upon j plus m factorial raised to 1 by 2. Okay, so total eigenfunction of the rigid rotator you can say the wave function of molecule. Total eigenfunction of molecule which is considered as rigid rotator psi. This is made up of two parts, theta part and phi part. So finally we write the total eigenfunction of the molecule or rigid rotator psi theta phi, which is separated into two parts, theta part and phi part. See, we have solved theta equation and phi equation. We got the solution of theta equation and phi equation. So we substitute that two solution into psi. So we get the total eigenfunction of the molecule. So total eigenfunction of the molecule psi, which is separated into two parts, theta part and phi part. I put both the solution here. That solution, normalized solution of theta equation is this 2j plus 1 upon 2 j minus m factorial j plus m factorial raised to 1 by 2 pjm cos theta into, yes, I think you must remember the solution of normalized solution of phi equation, that was 1 upon under root 2 pi e raised to I m phi. So the first part of the solution is theta part and the second part of the solution is phi part. Okay, so the total eigenfunction of the molecule psi is equal to 2j plus 1 upon this 2 into 2 pi will be 4 pi j minus n factorial upon j plus n factorial raised to 1 by 2 pjm cos theta, which is the associated Legendre polynomial, into e raised to I m phi. So this equation gives the eigenfunction of the molecular rigid rotator. Okay. So the important thing is this, that by solving the Schrodinger equation of a rigid rotator, we have obtained rotational energy of the molecule, that is s square upon 8 pi square I jj plus 1. Okay. And second important thing, that we got the eigenfunction of the molecule psi theta phi. So by solving the Schrodinger equation, we got two important quantities: rotational energy of a molecule, which is s square pi square I, Jj plus 1, where J is called rotational quantum number, and we got the eigenfunction of the molecule or the jet rotator. Okay. Next lecture, we will obtain the, see, we already obtained the rotational energy of the molecule. From the rotational energy of the molecule, we will obtain the rotational, we will discuss the rotational spectra in the next lecture. Thank you very much.